Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SevTech Ages. Today we are starting off by crafting quite arguably the most important item that we can, which is the vanilla crafting bench. Oh my goodness. This thing, I'm never using that again. I really hope that this also doesn't have a durability to it, because I can deal with making a bunch of those things over and over again, but having to make this and then hit it over and over again, I can't do that anymore. I also messed up. There is a secondary workbench of this that allows you to craft things in stacks instead of doing everything in singles. So that was my bad. I didn't realize it until the end of last episode when I was messing with the buffaloes and I had time to burn just by reading through things. So my bad about that. But we have the crafting bench, which is the first little square thing, or not the square thing, but the first advancement in our new age here. So it also looks like we might have excavation unlocked. I don't think we do. I'm pretty sure if I press the button, it's going to tell me that I don't have it unlocked yet. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. We still don't have it unlocked. That's something that is going to probably happen later on, or maybe the next age. I'm not quite sure. I didn't see anything a minute ago when I was looking through these things. So give me a second here. We want to go ahead and start looking for metal. So to do that, we're going to need a prospecting stick thingy, a dowsing rod. So we're going to throw that together, and then we are going to be making some normal chests, which will happen in a minute. But I already know where some of the ores are. So these little stones on the ground, as long as we didn't go around breaking them, they should show what the deposit is. So these ones right here are not discovered yet, so that's probably next age or something that we'd learn whatever this is going to be, or maybe later on in this age. But if we wander on over here a little bit, we should have some coal already discovered. If I can remember where I saw it at, that would be fantastic. All right, well, I finally found the deposit here. So we have a coal sample pretty close to our base, but I also don't quite know what's happening in-game right now because it's like noon, but it's really dark. So that's a bit odd. I didn't have anything pop up in our text menu. Like I thought maybe like a blood moon or something was kicking off and we're about to get swarmed by a bunch of stuff, but nothing really happened. I have my clouds disabled too, so maybe that's what's happening. Maybe there's a cloud there and it's blocking the sun, I guess? I have no idea. We also have another ore here. We have T-light, which I'm not quite sure what that is. That's probably something that's important. We have a little bit right near our base. Anyways, though, let's throw together the dowsing rod because it's a really simple recipe here. We just need some wood. I'll get one of those put together here in a second, and we can go run around, try and find maybe some iron or something to get some better tools and armor going. That would be really good. One of the things that I do want to make sure that I get up and running today is the horse-assisted stuff, because you still can't make sticks with the crafting bench. So the only other option is to break down bows in the cauldron, put them through the sawmill, which is one of the advancements near the end of this age. We can place down a strainer and maybe find some. We can still chop it manually or put it through the horse thing. So that's what I'm going to do today. In between episodes, I went ahead and brought a donkey back. I don't know if there is a difference. Like, if we use a horse, are we going to get more, like, productivity out of it or efficiency out of it? Or if we use a donkey, is it going to be able to do it more efficiently? Or if we end up breeding these guys together and getting a mule, will that work better than these guys? I'm not quite sure. We'll put all three of them through the test and see if anything is even different. It's probably not going to be, honestly, but we can give it a try. But now that we have this thing, like I said, I'm going to very quickly gloss over the little field manual here to see how this thing works, and then we can go find some more stuff, which I'm guessing is probably not going to be anything that we don't already see on the surface. So, like the rocks that we're right next to, I don't think that's actually going to show anything different, right? Yeah, so it's a good thing that I was glossing through this book because we wouldn't even be able to harvest this T-light stuff. We need an iron pickaxe, so this is something that we can come back to since we don't currently have iron. The only other thing that I've seen is the copper deposit. So does this actually tell me if iron is available currently, or is that something that's locked? Because it said we needed to be age 1 or age 0, so we should have iron, and unless I'm completely blind right now, I don't see iron listed here. Is it malachite? No, that's copper. Huh, okay. Let me see. It might be this, right? That's iron in other games, right? Yeah, that's iron. Okay. So this can be found. We can also harvest it with stone. So what I need to do right now is actually run around, because I have not honestly played all that much since the last episode. So I am going to probably throw myself into F5 mode so I can get a better view and just run around for a little bit and see if I can find any. So I think I might have jumped the gun just a little bit here searching for iron because I haven't found any of it. What I have found is a whole bunch of the teolite stuff, a bunch of the azurite stuff, a couple deposits of cassiterite, and then a couple deposits of coal as well. So I'm guessing, by going off of the advancements here, we're not actually at the Iron Age just yet, because there's no advancements to get any iron. What we do have advancements for is for finding tin, finding copper, and then turning that into bronze. So I'm guessing that we are currently in the Bronze Age, not the Iron Age. My bad. But we can get this stuff up and running here very quickly because, again, I found several deposits of all of these things already. So it's just going to be a matter of finding them and digging them out. So what we can go ahead and do, since we're on top of 2 deposits here, is take our dowsing rod and start probing the ground to see whether or not we're near one of the veins. I don't know if I should do it right next to each other like that. I probably should space it a little bit, right? And I don't know how far away from the little surface sample these things can actually be. So this could be a very tiny vein, or we could not even be near it just yet. So if we take a look at the book one more time here, it's going to tell us what Y level that stuff's actually going to be available on, which is the teolite stuff. We are looking at 20 meters or a maximum of 55 below sea level. So I'm guessing, right, in Minecraft logic, sea level is going to be this, right? Pretty sure, 63. So we are over on 68. So we're only digging, what is that, 5? Higher than it should be. So if there is stuff down here, it should be well within range, right? Nice, we just hit a level 2 azurite right here. So that means we are on a vein. We got level 3 there, level 3 there. So I'm going to dig down. Oh, we also have another vein or another surface sample right here. Okay. Let me dig around, because I haven't found any of the teolite stuff. It didn't trigger on any of it. So once we dig down, I'll start probing sideways, and maybe we find it like that, because doing it from here is not really seeming to work. All right, well, I know you guys can barely see a thing, but we finally hit the azurite here. So let me get a couple of these. We're not going to get that much, right? For right now, I'm going to come back with some torches, because I could barely see anything, and then light it up. We had coal. I should have probably done torches before I came and found this stuff. Well, I picked up a couple pieces, and I still wasn't able to find any of the teolite stuff while I was down there. So I think what I'm going to do is make some torches and then start strip mining out a little bit and scanning downward, because I was just scanning in a circle. So that could have been why I wasn't seeing any of it. It also has a spawn chance of going lower than we were a second ago, which it really doesn't do you guys any favors, because I didn't trigger the little plumb bob thing while I was down there. I was at like 40-something, 30-something or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I didn't check it after I started mining, but we were a little low, and we still didn't have any of that stuff triggering. So I'm going to go harvest up some coal. We got lucky and have several deposits right on the surface, so it's going to make really easy work. And then I'm going to go and start strip mining a little bit with the torches to build up some of the resources here. So I went back to the same ore deposit that we were just at a second ago, and I did dig around until we found the tin cluster, which honestly, I'm not quite sure if I should be following along with the books that the mods give us, because in the book, it said that that teolite stuff isn't mineable without an iron pickaxe, which is not the case, because I mined it with our stone pickaxe. It wasn't a very fast process. It was kind of slow, not quite like digging obsidian, but it was slow. So I'm not too sure here, but we do have enough to hopefully make a full set of armor. So to get this stuff rolling here, we want to plop down the porcelain stuff that we made at the end of last episode. So it's something like that, and a little bit of that. And then we got to fuel this thing up, and we plop the stuff in here. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to alloy, because that might be the bigger thing. Okay, not enough heat to heat the item. That is fine. We need to also make a couple more items here for the flint, or yeah, for the porcelain stuff here, because we can't exactly get anything out of there just yet. And is there a difference between these guys? 1600 and 200? No, there's not really a difference. Okay, so let's plop that in there. That's going to heat them both up. If it turns into bronze, then we're good. Although, is that the right mixture? It might be like a 2-to-1 or something like that. I don't really remember all that much. I'm trying to see if we can bypass having to make the alloy kiln, which we might not be able to do at the moment. Anyways, while we're waiting for the copper to smelt down, because that's taking a little while longer than the tin, we're going to make the other stuff that we need here. So we're going to have the porcelain bricks, which we need 7 of those guys. So let's get those going here. And then with the faucet, we can plop that in there. It's going to turn into the actual solid one that we need. And the rest of that we can just hold on to. This stuff's smelted down just yet. Needs a different... Oh, there's a different fluid in the tank. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. Okay, so that answers my question right there. We're going to lose some fuel here. Unless it's going to just sit there. Is it going to sit? It's not dropping on the 55 seconds. Well, hopefully the timer stays at 55 seconds long enough for us to get these other two items put together here. That still says unfired. Okay, well, we'll plop it there then. This is kind of a bug. You can plop things in there that don't actually turn into anything, and it gives you XP. So a little cheesy thing to do, but not really that game-breaking. Let's get... oh, that's not the one we want. We want this one. Yeah, we want the casting basin, because right now in the stage of the game that we're at, we don't actually have the casts available. But for people unaware, this is Tinker's Construct. It's a really, really cool mod that lets you make your own tools, which I don't know if you're able to do that in this mod or not. Because right now we don't have the casts available, so that might be something we can do the next age, potentially. I'm not quite sure here. We're going to plop that on there. We're going to need at least 1 block worth, so we need 9. Let me put at least 9 of those in there. So what are we at? 2 right now, so let's get 7 of them put through. We're going to have those guys going through here in a second. And then once these guys are done, we can pour them out. It's going to make a block. And then to take that block and turn it back into ingots, we're not able to plop it into our crafting recipe like normal. We have to hammer it out. So we need a stone anvil, and then we also need a hammer here, or a mallet. And that's going to allow us to smash it into ingots again. So we should have the smooth stone stuff laying around. Actually, we don't have that much smooth stone laying around, but we do have a bunch of cobble, so that is fine. I'm going to get that thing put together here real quick while the tin smelts down, and we should be pretty good here. All right, well, there we go. There is our tin block ready to go. And while that empties out, we can also plop this stuff back in there to start the smelting process for all of our copper now. And maybe when there's nothing else in there, it smelts down a little bit quicker, although the thing is not really moving all that fast. Okay. So that's going to take a little while to get going, but that is fine. It should melt down this time and not just get stuck. And let's get the ingots out of that thing there. Do we actually get all 9 back? We do indeed. That is awesome. Okay, so that is our tin dealt with. And to get the alloy kiln up and running, we just need bricks and sandstone. So that is doable. It has to be sandstone? Yeah, it looks like it has to be sandstone. So we haven't found a desert. I don't think I've seen sand in this pack just yet, to be honest with you. I think I've only seen gravel and dirt. Oh, never mind. You know, the sand right there. I'm stupid. Okay, we're good. We're fine. We're good. I am going to probably end up throwing that thing together here as well. We're going to need, I don't know, is it a 2x2 little area? It is a 2x2x2. Okay. So we don't need that much clay. And I know I have clay in one of these boxes, so I don't have that much clay. I got to go clay mining to get the whole thing put together. But it shouldn't be too bad. We got our first little bits of copper put together as well, so let's get our next little batch going. While that smelts down, I'm going to go grab some clay here so that we can get the kiln up and running, and then we can hopefully get the bronze up and running today as well. I should have all of the clay and sand that we're going to need right now, but I also want to grab this beehive because the bees allow you to grow crops a little bit faster when they're placed nearby, but you can't right-click it. Do I just hit it with an axe? Please don't die. Okay. We got a honeycomb and we got a bee. That is awesome. Okay, I've only seen 2 of these hives, so that's one of them. So I didn't harvest the other one. I probably should have. I didn't realize they had an actual use in this pack. And now that we have the bee, we're able to craft up an apiary. And with that, if we place it near our crops, it'll help increase the crop growth a little bit here by 4 blocks. So that's going to be nice. We can get that kind of close by some of the stuff that's more important. And one of the things that I didn't realize, whether or not it was available in Age 0, I didn't pay attention that much, but I realized it after we triggered into the next age here. We have a nutrition menu, so I'm not quite sure what the benefit here is to have them all at 100%, but it appears it might be linked to the golden hearts that we have right now, because we have 2 of them close to 100% and then 2 of them not, so we have half of our hearts gold. I'm assuming that's probably what you get from having these things like that. So I'm going to try and get everything up to 100%. That's going to require us to start growing our own crops, because running around and grabbing these little patches really isn't doing us any favors here. So I got to get that rolling. The copper is just about done. We got 6 in there, so that's the last 3 ready to go here. We might have to throw some more coal in there because the copper takes a little while, but for right now, we can probably, hopefully, pick this thing back up, but I'm going to plop it right there. Let's plop that guy in there, and then plop that guy in there. Oh, actually, we probably don't need that in there. I'm going to hold on to it. We'll see. And let's get our ingots for the copper there. That's awesome. We also have all of our stuff ready to go for the kiln as well, so let's get that going. And there we go. Nice. So for right now, we will plop it over here, and then we can get our bronze up and running. And are we going to need the immersive hammer? I feel like we're going to need the immersive hammer, aren't we? That's not good. What do we need for that? We are going to need 2 copper, so I got to smelt more copper. Dang it. Oh, actually, I guess we can just use this, right? We just won't be able to make a bunch of bronze right away, which I'm kind of okay with doing, I suppose. And now we have an alloy kiln. Cool. So let's plop 7 of these guys in and 7 of those guys in. We're going to have to smelt that stuff down. Let me grab a little bit of my coal here, please. There we go. Get this stuff rolling. And then that's going to complete another one of our advancements. So let's get that off of our screen. So one of the things that I want to try and do today is actually set up some sort of a little base. Right now, just having all of our stuff out on the ground here, not really the greatest to look at. So I want to try and organize things, light up the area a little bit, and make it a little safer throughout the night here. But before we start messing with any of that, I want to make a basin. This is going to allow us to make bread, and that's going to help us go toward our little nutrition goal thingy there to get our grain handled. So that's going to come in handy. I also want to make those guys, but I don't know. It's really not that important at the moment. I'm not really going through that much wood. So once we start messing with wood stuff again, I'll probably set those guys in motion. Also, the little donkey experiment thing I was going to try, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore because I did look it up in between cuts here, and there isn't a difference, it doesn't look like. So you can either use horses, you can use the donkeys, you can use the mules. It doesn't make a difference whatsoever. So I don't think I'm going to bother making the stuff that I was going to do there. This thing is also producing bees galore here, so we have 5 of them already. So we can just spam these guys all over the place, which is going to be really nice. And it also looks like our alloy kiln is already done. We have 8 pieces of bronze. Awesome. Okay. So what did that just complete? Our next little advancement. But now that we have 8 of them, we should be able to make a piece of armor. Actually, you know what? Hold on. We actually need to mash those into plates. I'm fairly certain if my brain is working here. We want to turn those into plates, and then with those, we are able to use them to make armor. There we go. So to get the plates, we do the same thing we do to get the ingots out of the block there, which is just plop them on here and bash them a couple times. It turns it into a plate. So let me do this for a second, and there we go. We have a chest piece. I don't know if making armor is the priority right now. We're not really hurting for protection, but we will make that. That is cool. Nice little like leather-looking chest piece, but it is what it is. I'm going to be processing through all of our metal that we have right now, and then we'll see if we have a full set of gear going. One thing that I do want to also do, probably not today, but we are going to need more of these gems in the future. So if I could find my whittling knife, I want to see, can we turn these logs from the dark forest into, or the darklands, into totems? We can indeed. That's going to help speed up the process. I can just run through and do this. But what I want to do for the Dark Forest place, because somebody let me know that if I was to put the pigs, I believe it is, on this guy, I got to look at the book again, but I think it's the pigs, they give you luck. So if I were to do a 5 tall totem of luck and then kill these guys, I have a better chance of dropping the teeth and all that stuff that I'm trying to get from those guys. So what I want to try and do in the Darklands is, I probably should have done this the other way there, but like I was saying, what I want to try and do in the Darklands is actually have a wolf here, have the Enderman on the other one, if I can get to it, there we go, and then the rest of these guys I want to have as the pig, because that's going to give us a bunch of extra luck levels, and hopefully by doing that and then having these guys spammed all around the little biome, we can have a constant buff going. So we have night vision because those ghostly guys don't seem to spawn, or didn't seem to spawn at least, until nighttime rolled around. And then we want to have the luck rolling so that we have a better chance of dropping the gems, and then a strength bonus to give us a little bit better of an attack damage going out. So that's what I want to do in that area. But over here on the base, I think we will just do the pigs so that we get better drops out of those guys, and maybe some pigs over here when we start harvesting the cows and all that stuff. But right now, we don't really need this thing here at the base. So I'm going to break it back down, and I'm going to start smelting down our stuff so that we can get the rest of the stuff up and running. So let's go ahead and make our bronze armor here. So there is our helmet and our pants. And what was the other thing that we made already? Our chest piece. Okay, so let's get our pants up and running. Now, there is our full set of bronze gear going. It does look like we lose our armor rating, though. I swear with the full set of wolf stuff, we had like a row and a half of armor. Did we not? 3, 2, and 2. 5, or no, I guess not, because that's already higher than these things. Okay, well, that should do us a little bit better now when we fight stuff. We should hopefully not take as much damage, but we're going to be taking a little bit of a break from setting up any more of or doing any more of our advancements. Right now, what I want to do is actually set up a little base of sorts. So I should have set something up in age 0, but I kind of didn't, because we got a TP, and I feel like that's kind of a good indicator of age 0. So for this age, we are going to put together a little landmark type thingy. And in the middle of that, we're going to have a little shack that will act as effectively our sleeping area and then our storage area as well. It's not going to be super massive. What I might end up doing is set up multiples of different types of things throughout the ages here. But for this age, we're going to set this thing up. So we're going to have to use some mud, which I've already tried to gather up a bit of that. We're going to be using that wood and then the wood in the back as well. So I have a bit of those things built up. Is it going to be enough to build the whole thing? I don't know yet. We will see. But I got to get to digging here because we are going to be dropping this down into the ground just a little bit. I'm going to move all these guys over as well, just so these guys don't actually get in the way here. I've also bred up a mule, even though I said there was no difference between using any of these things. I am going to use a separate one for each little workstation. So we're going to have the mule on one of them, the donkey, and the horse on the others. So that way we have 3 different types of horses working away there, and not just all horses and whatnot. So I'm going to do that. I also have the little base somewhat laid out with flowers right now. So let me get to work here because I am going to be digging for a little while. And hopefully it doesn't look too horrible. Keep in mind it is just an age 1 thing. We might expand on it later, or we might just go somewhere else and build a different type of building or whatnot for the next age. But for right now, I'm going to put this together, and we can wrap up today's episode once we're done here. Well, we ran into a little bit of an issue already, and that is that we're going to be needing storage, and this is going to produce wood a little more efficiently for us instead of chopping it by ourselves. So I am going to go grab our, let's see, what do we want to do? Our donkey, I guess? Or let's do the mule right now. Sure. Actually, I don't have my thing on me. Oops. So all we got to do is attach it to the chopping thing with the lead. And then I don't know if we're able to automate this a little bit here because we have these little weird hoppers still. We don't have the normal ones available. I don't know why I broke that one out. Let me plop that back. We're going to do this, and maybe it's able to pull the stuff out and put it into a chest, which we're going to make once we're done setting this thing up. But now let's take wood. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Can that go in there? The horse or the mule is going to start doing laps. Well, that was really quick. It's already over, and it looks like it sucked the wood into the hopper there, which we can't access just yet because we don't have a chest, and we don't have access to the top of the thing there. I really don't know why this guy's being dirt, but okay. Oh, I broke it a second ago, didn't I? That's why it's dirt, dum-dum. Okay, let me very quickly have this guy chop a bunch of stuff, then I'll break the hopper, and then with the wood that we get from it, we should be able to make a chest. Because it should be doing, I think it should be making 4 per chop here instead of 2 like we would do manually here. Yeah, look at that. So once it's done with this one, we should have enough wood in the hopper to make 1 chest real quickly here. There's that. Let me break this guy down. And we have 8 in our inventory. Good. Okay. So let me make a chest, and then we can leave this guy just to run over and over again. We do need another hopper to fully automate it right this instant, which I might look at the recipe real quick and just see what that is, because I don't remember. Yeah, I'll go ahead and fully automate the wood chopping here in just a second. We need a little bit more wood, but that's fine. I'm going to get back to digging this thing out while this guy chops some wood for us, but this should be done by the time we come back here. Alrighty, well, our base is just about done here. We are missing a couple more of the Venus flytraps to finish off the outside perimeter, which is something I'll worry about in between episodes. It's just a little time-consuming running around trying to find some more of those guys right now, so I'll worry about that later. On the inside here, we have a bunch of the berry bushes down. I still have a lot more of these guys, so I think I'm just going to line our farmland with these guys because I've been breaking every single one that I've seen, so we have a lot of them to go. On the outside of this thing, I'm going to be placing down the machinery stuff that I plan on using a little more frequently instead of cramming them into the inside here. So right now we got our millstone. We don't have anything else on the other sides here. But if we take a look on the inside, we're going to have a couple chests, and that's pretty much it. Maybe a bed in here as well. So if we take this right now and we move it up a little bit because, or actually, let's knock that out, and then we'll place the slabs back like that. And that should allow us to make the bed and place it on top of that. So let's do one of those, we do one of those, and one of these. That gives us the bed and the advancement. We can plop that in there. I also want to make our bronze tools here. So let's get a sword put together. Let's also get a pickaxe and an axe as well. So that is our bronze tools ready to go here. It's going to be a little bit easier on us gathering up resources now, which is going to be nice. And then the last thing that I want to do to wrap up today's episode is actually make the center pole in our base right here our totem pole. So we're going to have that. We're going to have one ocelot. We're going to have one horse. And that should give us jump boost as well as a speed boost. It's given us one of... Oh, you know what? That's a creeper non-explosive thing, so it doesn't ruin our house here. The other thing that we wanted to do was the rabbit. Okay, so that's what it was. Let me get that. And then we have 2 slots left over, so let's do 2 rabbits, and we'll do another one of the horses as well, so that we have a little bit more speed and a little bit more jump. And maybe not. Maybe it's 3 per thingy. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're leveling that past 1. Whatever, that's fine. We have a totem right in the middle here. I might change that around a little bit because it does kind of look a little wonky, but it is what it is right now. That's fine. Anyways, though, that is where we're going to be wrapping up today's episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.